This is a very simple spinach and beef salad. The beef is actually part of the dressing technically, but let's not go there. This is some very nice red vein spinach that I got from Woolworths. You have to take the stalks out because it does tend to be a little bit tough unless you're going to cook it, but because we're eating these spinach leaves raw, for the extra nutritional value of course, going to break them into slightly smaller pieces, and the packaging does say washed and ready to use, but I prefer to give them an extra wash, just a little bit of salted water, and then spin them out. Make sure that the pieces are relatively small, something worse than getting a whole salad leaf in your plate. So I always use the same bowl because that's the perfect size bowl to make a salad for 3 people in. Okay, the rest of the vegetable ingredients for the salad are cucumbers, assorted cocktail tomatoes, and baby corn. Now the cucumber we are going to cut into, well, I'm not quite sure how to describe that. We're going to cut the length in half, and then we're going to cut those into almost like half moon shapes. I try to cut them as evenly as possible. There we go. Make sure you have the same number of fingers when you finish as you had when you started. The cucumber is quite a neutral flavor, but it does give you quite a lot of nutritional value, and it lasts in the fridge. This is quite an important fact in my life. Unless you're cooking for a family of 6 every night, you end up in a situation where you have leftover food that you are going to throw away because you can't physically eat it fast enough. South Africa is not really geared towards eating the way the Orientals eat, which is to shop for your fresh produce every single day. Okay, now I've become a bit of a shop around person, and the lettuce comes from Woolworths, the spinach comes from Woolworths, and the tomatoes come from Checkers. Now this is a mixed pack. They've got some big red tomatoes, some little red tomatoes, and the sweetest, juiciest yellow tomatoes I've tasted in a very long time. So we've added those together. The last ingredient is corn. Now when you buy corn, it must have the leaves on, because the leaves are actually what is keeping those corn kernels moist. So get rid of the fibers by twisting it around and then pulling them off, and giving it a quick rinse will also help you to get rid of any excess fibers. Then I'm going to show you how to slice this directly into the bowl. Okay, start in the middle and slice downward. The knife must be very sharp. If the knife is blunt, you're going to take a finger off. Okay, so you see how that slices down. If you do it directly into the bowl, then there's less mess on the table. You can do this on the board, but then you end up with these little kernels all over the place. I find it's just easier if you do it directly into the bowl. This works even if the corn is cooked, but then of course you can't hold it like this because the corn is going to be quite hot. Okay, so this is plain raw. You can eat all vegetables raw. Yes, I mean all vegetables, including potatoes and turnips. Some of them just don't taste very nice raw, but you can actually eat them all raw. Okay, so that gets you all your corn in the bowl. So what's in the bowl? It's spinach, tomatoes, cucumber, and corn. Now we're going to move on to making a little bit of salad dressing. Okay, so what do we need for salad dressing? We need some mint, which is washed and dried. I like to use the shake method. I have a particularly big sink that I can shake it out in, but if not, I just go stand outside in the back and shake the water out in the garden. Then it doesn't matter getting it all over the walls and floors and things. Okay, chop it fairly finely. You don't have to chop it until it's microscopic. Just sort of fine is great. We're going to pop that in a bowl, and then just a little word on vinegars. I've discovered that there is more to life than balsamic vinegar. There are about 100 different kinds of vinegar. There's apple cider, there's malt vinegar, there's apple vinegar, there's red wine vinegar, white wine vinegar, raspberry vinegar. If you stop at the patstal on your holiday and you get a jar of vinegar, or your Aunt Fiona gives it to you, this is a perfect time to be using it. Now this is a little bit of flake salt, again from Woolworths. This is a citrus flake salt, which gives you a very lemony sort of flavor. I'm adding a couple of grinds of black pepper. Now to that I'm going to add a piece of steak. Now this piece of steak is left over from last night's braai. It's ice cold, which means I'm able to slice it into very thin slices, almost shave it. Now, unless you have an industrial ham slicer at home, this is about as good as the shaving is going to get. So we're going to slice it as thinly as we possibly can. You notice I like it very rare. That's just me. You don't have to eat it the way I like it. You can eat it any way you like. If you like it medium well, that's jolly good for you. Eat it the way you like it. If you want to have some fun, go to France and tell them you want it well done. That's just good for a laugh, because most meat there apparently comes medium rare these days. This is a leftover from last night's braai. So we're on a drive not to waste anything, you know, global economic meltdown and all those sorts of things. And we're actually going to mix the meat into the dressing and let it stand, so that the meat is going to flavor the dressing, and the dressing is going to flavor the meat. It's sort of a two-way street that we'll be going down there. And that's a little piece for me to snack on. There we go, just checking that it's okay. Okay, so what do we have in the bowl? We have the mint, we have the lemon or citrus salt, we have pepper, we have meat. Now, it's 1/4 vinegar to 3/4 oil. Now that's a walnut oil, yet another something I picked up along the way and like to use from time to time, just to give it flavor. Now here I'm using a malt vinegar. I believe it's actually made out of beer that has gone sour. Vinegar generally brings a hell of a lot of flavor to things. So to use the basic white spirit or balsamic vinegar is actually doing yourself short. So give this a good stir, and like I say, let it stand. 20 minutes is adequate. Couple of hours is better, and the flavors will infuse. You will get a lot more flavorful meat. Now, see there, I actually let it stand for quite a bit. And now we're going to mix the meat and the dressing into the salad. The reason I put the meat into the salad is it makes it a slightly more substantial meal. And you can cut all of the fat off of the meat if you like, which makes it very lean and very healthy too. My personal trainer is trying to get me to lose a little bit of weight, hence the lean and healthy look. And you can see it's a very simple salad to make, and it comes up looking absolutely beautiful. I really hope you enjoyed this.